What's going on, guys? Tobin here with you. God, did I need that so bad? I needed that so bad in my life. I can't take the losing anymore. It's beside myself. Two losses to the Hornets in a month's time. 4 straight losses. Just needed some good, man. Needed some good, and I certainly will always take a win over those rat bastard Sixers. I will always take that. I will always take James Harden, fat bum, bricking it at the end of regulation, because you knew as soon as he had a chance for the win, he wasn't going to make it. It was a genius ploy by the Heat. Get the ball out of Joel Embiid's hands, let him kick it to James Harden, because you know that dude is going to come up small every single time, which is why he is never going to win an NBA championship. The Heat win 101-99 in a much needed relief-giving win for Miami to wrap up this road trip and snap their 4-game losing streak. And it was all led tonight by Jim VP. Jimmy Butler, he was engaged from jump, brought everything today. Near triple-double with 23 points, 11 rebounds, 9 assists, 4 steals. The type of instincts this guy can have to disrupt plays, to disrupt another team's offense is absolutely tremendous. And he was there every which way tonight. And not only was he there, but he was getting what was really needed, which was some damn 3-point shooting. It was, I can't even explain it. You know, I think Eric and John said it was the most threes they had since like the middle of December tonight. 15 for 37 from downtown. We don't play in that NBA. The Heat don't play in that sandbox. It's always a small crawl for everybody else. And instead, for Miami, they were the ones getting it from their role guys tonight. A couple from K-Love. Gabe Vincent was a monster from downtown. He loves lighting up Philadelphia. This Namdi, you need him to get right a little bit. You put Philly in front of him, and we can get down to business. You know, Victor Oladipo, first signs of life that he's had really since the All-Star break, coming back from injury. And Max Strus, we were thirsty. And in the words of Jason Jackson, to quench, we need a little Strus juice. And what can you say, dude, about Cody Zeller? I mean, listen, Cody Zeller, intangibles. That dude first of all, I'm a huge Cody Zeller fan off the bat. Did I make fun of this guy in the past? Perhaps. I mean, he has hair like Mark Hockman. How could I not? But he was getting ragdolled by Joel Embiid. No calls by these officials. In fact, they were calling fouls on Zeller for him getting beat up by Joel Embiid. This dude was getting no justice. And then comes the block. Listen, it's not Bam in the Eastern Conference Finals. It's not Alonzo Mourning in the finals. All right? It's not Dwayne Wade on LeBron James. It's not that. But somewhere in the little niche museum of Heat history, we'll remember the Cody Zeller block. Right next to the Danny Granger Christmas game, we'll remember Cody Zeller's chase down block of Joel Embiid, because my dude was humming. He was high-stepping the entire way, and I was like, uh-oh, here comes Cody Zeller. And he has been such a delight in his first 3 games with Miami. It's like, even with the losing, he was like the lone positive light was Cody Zeller. And with Dwayne Dedmon sitting on the sidelines, the torpedo, the guy from the mechanic to the plus-minus torpedo, he looks at the other end, and Cody Zeller is a team-high +9. Just modern marvel of what he was able to do for this Heat team. It really was incredible to see. It was a beautiful sight to see, especially with what was not a good offensive night from Tyler Hero and Bam Adebayo. Now, Bam was a bit of a weird one. I mean, he was at the rim at some points, just couldn't find anything. He finally got it going at like the end of the third quarter, where I think Spo was planning on taking him out, but he finally had gotten into some rhythm and he was hitting some jumpers. But, I mean, the bunnies that Bam was missing today was crazy. That being said, the type of effort that he brought today defensively was outstanding, and you could just see it. And it was really needed from this standpoint, because I'm sure a lot of Heat Nation saw today that his interview with Taylor Rooks dropped, who, you know, will always get the goods out of the players. She will always get the juicy quotes. And Bam was out there today, basically not even saying that he should be Depoy this year. He was saying that he should have been defensive player the last 2 years. And took a little bit of a flamethrower to Marcus Smart, but took a big flamethrower to Rudy Gobert. Basically saying that Rudy Gobert doesn't translate to the playoffs and that Bam is one of the rare guys who can actually guard 1 through 5. And when that drops, you need to have a monster defensive effort. You need to go out there and wall off James Harden, and you need what he did in the clutch today, block Joel Embiid's ass one-on-one, which is what Bam did. And I see, they sent 3 guys over. Dude, there were 3 guys that were basically watching Bam Adebayo lock up Joel Embiid there at the end. And you needed to have that. You can't have that game and then Joel Embiid puts it on you at the end. Which, look, at times there was. Joel is good. I mean, look, he's an MVP candidate. Still had a super efficient game today. It's not like he was shut down, but he was in foul trouble today. Bam did get a score on him there in the fourth quarter. And, still had a nice game, 27 points, 12 rebounds. But at the end, he got blocked, and then he coughed it up over to his friend there with the beard, James Harden. Clank. So just a beautiful, beautiful sight to see. It really was. And yes, you need to have that. If Bam, and listen, I am not against Bam Adebayo chirping. Chirp. All right. Chirp, young fella. Go out there, campaign your ass off because everybody else is out there doing. If Taylor Works is going to give you an interview and you know her interviews go viral, you go chat up there how you should be defensive player of the year. But if you're going to do that, the day that it drops, you need to have a monster performance, and that's what he did on the defensive end today. Certainly wasn't the prettiest game from him offensively, but it was enough. The Heat got enough, and that was because, look, if the Heat didn't end up winning this game, you're going to look squarely at the Kentucky guys in Tyler Hero and Bam Adebayo for what they were not able to put up on the offensive end. Tyler's not necessarily going to provide that on the defensive end. Bam can able to do that and find those other ways to, as Spo said after the game, play winning basketball. And that's what today was. It just felt like a very intense game. You basically had all the main players that were there. The Phillies 76ers had their whole repertoire. The Heat basically have everybody other than Kyle Lowry, plus their 2 new look guys and Kevin Love, who got off to a nice first half. Wasn't really a factor in the second half. But their 2 role guys fitting great. I mean, Kevin had the good first half. Cody Zeller, quite frankly, had the great second half. And his minutes when Bam was able to rest and it wasn't a disaster. I mean, it's like foreign to Heat fans not to be able to see that. But all in all, flowers to Bam, but Jimmy Butler's night, man. And he loves sticking it to those Philadelphia 76ers fans and walking off the floor and letting them know Tobias Harris over me, Ben Simmons over me, whatever story they want to write or spin or re-narrate. One thing is that your star player in Joel Embiid hates the fact that Jimmy Butler walked out that door, and he's got to hate, and it's got to burn his chaps every single time Jimmy walks into that building and gives them the business. And that beautiful, that artistic creation that he was able to have with that up and under to put the Heat up 100-99 was absolutely breathtaking. It was a beautiful piece of art. Hang it up in the Louvre. Is it the Louvre? The Louvre? No, the Louvre is the bathroom. It doesn't matter. Put it up in an art museum down in Miami. Put it at Art Basel for all I care and sell it for $500 next to that rotten banana on the wall. That thing was so pristine, so beautiful to see that. It warmed my heart, warmed my soul. I loved seeing it. I love the defensive effort tonight from Miami. Really trying to muck things up. Philly's got some guys, especially Tyrese Maxey when he plays the damn Heat. I mean, Jesus Christ, this guy, he lights it up. He really, that third quarter, it was like, geez, this kid can't miss. He was just throwing it from range everywhere. He was blowing past dudes. He looked incredible. and really was able to will them back in this game with Joel Embiid, who had gotten into foul trouble in that third quarter and sat a lot. But look, man, I think the thing that's been impressive, and maybe some of this element, I've talked about the number of close games this year, and man, it has been frustrating. But there is an element to, you have been there so many times before. So when you have the lead basically the entire game, Philly hadn't led until it was 8-6, and then they go up 99-98 with James Harden's free throws. You know, it could break a lot of teams, but Miami's just so used to that position, and Jimmy Butler saved his most beautiful bucket for then and showed up in a big way. Bam gets the block. Jimmy comes down. Could have put a Heat up at least 3. Did not. He missed a couple of free throws in the fourth quarter. But thankfully, James Harden's James Harden, and you know when push comes to shove and you really need a bucket, the last person you go to is James Harden. And that is where the Heat were able to get the ball in his hands. Sure, he can do his cute little dribble, and everybody on Twitter can go crazy because he did one thing to Victor Oladipo at one point. But when it mattered most, he was not there. And the Heat need this one, and you can't celebrate too much. Look, they're in a much better position standings-wise. Miami, they now are 4 over and need to go do this again in 48 hours as Philly is going to come to Miami. But they were in desperate mode. I mean, I really do feel like the Heat would have blown this one and had gone to 5 straight after, you know, I think the effort you got defensively and the amount of shots that you got from downtown, even with Bam and Tyler struggling, you really felt like, because you were in control of most of this game, you really needed to pull this one out. It was very, very important for them to get this one to the finish line. They did. And thankfully are now back to 4 over. And you needed it too, because the Knicks have been surging lately. I think they beat the Celtics tonight. I'm trying to see if that's gone final. It has. They smoked them, actually, 109-94. I think Jason Tatum got ejected in that game. So we'll react to some of that tomorrow. If you guys want, I was in my feelings today on Tobin and Leroy. You know, sometimes you need a little Tobes tough love. I'm not going to apologize for what I had to say about the team. They needed it, okay? I needed it. It was cathartic for me. I needed that radio therapy. Am I going to be called a fraud tomorrow in front of Leroy? Called a fraud every day in front of Leroy. It doesn't really matter. You guys can go watch it 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. on the 560 WQAM channel. Please subscribe over there. Please subscribe here. Go Heat. Can't wait to be boots on the ground on Wednesday.